don't have anything, they're poor. So this 2.5% is not yours. If you have, for example, $10,000, 2.5% is what? 250. Right? 250 is not yours. Don't say, okay, I want to give it تفضلا. ما معنى تفضلا? You have upper hand. No, it's not yours. Because if you do not give it to the needy, to those who deserve it, Allah will punish you. You hold responsible on the day of judgment. And what Allah said, فَيُطَوَّقُونَ مَا بَخِلُوا بِهِ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. First, Allah named that or called that as stinginess. Bukhl. Number one. Number two, Allah will punish the person, I'm not saying you, will punish the person who does not pay zakat, will make it burn on the day of judgment. Very hot, and make it around his neck. And also, يوم تكوى بها جباههم وجنوبهم وظهورهم هذا ما كنزتم لأنفسكم فذوقوا ما كنتم تكنزون. After this this money, Allah will form it to gold and silver on the day of judgment, but make it very hard. And punish the person who did not pay zakat in dunya, their back and their side and their front hand. Punishment is dangerous. Now, we are not talking about zakat only because some people, or many of people, they pay their zakat in Ramadan, which is not connected Islamically. But if you want to start your whole entire year in Ramadan, it's up to you, no problem. But stick with it. Back to zakat al-fitr. And Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, when he talked about zakat al-fitr, he mentioned some type of food: corn, barley, wheat, date. الأقط like عند الفلسطينيين. أنت فلسطيني صح؟ Keep it here or here?
That's good.
Good. It's like a naan. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم mentioned type of food. From up to date, some Muslims, either here in Charlotte, when they want to pay zakat al-fitr, they don't pay it as money. They don't pay it money, dollar. They pay it crops or grains. They bring to the masjid here rice. Most of it is rice. They believe that they are following a sunnah, which is fine. No accusation, nothing wrong with this. But many scholars, and like Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah, that it's very clear, Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah, he said it's more than okay to convert this grain to money, give it to the poor, to the needy, and there are also proofs for this. It's not only his ijtihad. There is proof for this. Plus, he said, when you give money, indeed, you give the poor, the family, more room to buy whatever they want. But when you give them rice, they are not going to sell the rice and get money and pay. There is another hadith. An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he talked about zakat al-fitr, and the zakat al-fitr related to the poor, he mentioned this very interesting statement. When he said, أغنوهم للفقراء عن المسألة في هذا اليوم. He talked about the poor, that let them be satisfied or let them ما معنى أغنوهم if you want to translate it. يعني zakat fitr does not make the poor as a rich one. But at that time, the time of Al-Eid, to be
benefit.
Yeah, that's true. But
release celebratory.
ايش؟
Like celebratory, isn't that the reason?
Celebratory?
Celebratory, like to join in the celebration of Eid.
Also, it is like that. But I want to use this word
Relief.
relief. Yeah, relief for them. Let them. Now, when I talk the other, because when we cannot find the right terminology in English, we try to explain. Yani let them enjoy Al-Eid like the rich people. Let them get benefit from this donation or from this. Indeed, it's not donation, it's mandatory. From this money, let them enjoy it like the others. But if you give them rice, and this family is known as poor in this neighborhood, if there are, for example, 50, 20 families, if these 20 families, طلع هذا ميكروفون هذا مش كاميرا. It's not camera.
لا شو كاميرا؟
الشيخ asked if this is camera.
No,
مرتاح انت مش كاميرا. مش كاميرا.
لا
فهمت انا سالت لك ما عم بسالك. بس يعني لما بيكون عندنا كاميرا والحاجات دي صرنا متطورين جدا يعني. ما وصلناش للمرحله دي.
Best one to do the one come to your mouth. Because also this thing you put in slide down. This one cannot hear you.
ما شاء الله.
You cannot hear me?
And I can hear you from here.
You talking على الدرس ولا التراويح؟
Right now, no, Taraweeh was on a very clear. Right now when you speak, the microphone goes down. But if you have something, behind your ear, come in your mouth.
بس هذا ما شاء الله this is big, that's good this one. يلا
You
خلينا.
can hear yourself.
كانك قاعد بالطيارة هذيك أو الفضاء هذيك.
And I'm cooked in here.
ما شاء الله أحسن من التليفون. ما شاء الله أحسن من التليفون.
Back to our. So this hadith النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, when he said, "أغنوهم," make them, if you wanna translate it word by word, make them rich in this day. Make them in satisfied situation. They don't need others. Think with me. The poor family, when they have poor children, and they are neighbor to a rich family, when these children, the poor children, watch the rich family, that their children, they wear new clothes, they got gifts, playing with these gifts outside and toys, and they are neighbor and they cannot buy new clothes, they cannot buy toys to play, bicycle or name it, and they watch the other families enjoy Al-Eid and they cannot. All what they have, hundreds of pounds of rice. What we can do with this? Because all these 20 families around, all of them, they give them rice. What are they going to do with this rice? You understand?
السنة ياكل فيه.
ها؟
السنة بياكل فيه.
ما الأكل يعني هو بيطلع أكله هو بس بده أكل. يعني he's working, but يعني he's working to bring food, but he cannot buy new clothes, cannot buy bicycles or tell me other than what the children play with.
Tablet.
Tablet.
That's all they do, man.
Yeah, see, he cannot. And this is taken. This idea is taken from حديث النبي اغنوهم عن المسألة في هذا. So this is the whole purpose of Zakat al-Fitr. Is not only should be rice or date or dry food. Did you get the point? And when we talk about the price, how much it is, as the brother asked me in Taraweeh. When we pay the money, if somebody decided to pay the equivalent money for 6 pounds of rice, can we say that's wrong? No. Regardless of the brother, if he's rich or poor, he's okay. Islamically, shar'an. But when we want to convert it to money for the whole community, we don't need to say from $10 to $50. No need to say that. Give average, below average, because people, they want to give them one number. You said, don't, I'm not mujtahid, I'm not scholar, I'm not sheikh. Tell me how much I will pay. هات من الآخر أو الوصولية. اديني من الآخر. قديش لازم أدفع؟ تقول لي رز
ما تحرقش جاز كتير.
أيوه رز وذرة وتمر وعقد. يعني don't tell me how much. You tell them $15. But indeed, there are families, they have a lot of children and they are poor and they cannot afford 15 per person. If they pay 10, I believe it's okay. Not only, if they pay $5 per person, the poor family, I believe it's okay too. But when we give a general fatwa, we say average 15. When we say average, any can pay more or less. This is average means, right? Average is not final price or final number. You can pay more or you can pay less. As we said, we cannot force the rich people to pay the max, but at the same time, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about كفارة اليمين فأطعموا 10 مساكين من أوسط مش من أفقر ومن أقل من أوسط ما تطعمون أهلكم. And by the way, الأوسط لا يعني الأفريج، الأوسط يعني الأفضل. وكذلك جعلناكم أمة وسعا للنص ولا أفضل. احنا يعني في أفضل من المسلمين كدين. Is there any religion better than Islam? So أوسط here وسطا doesn't mean middle, meaning the best. من أوسط ما تطعمون هي يعني the best. يعني if usually you eat, usually I said, you eat in your home meat and chicken. Allah said when you pay kafara, pay from what you are eating. Don't give them jibna وزعتر وزيت وزيتون, olive and labni and milk. No. Cereal. Cereal. No. Allah doesn't say that. If this is your food, okay, that's fine. In general, you eat this food, that's fine. That's what Allah said. Yeah, it's not convenient, it's not good. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us something else. From what you are eating, the best food that you are eating, you and your family, give it as kafara.
Can the Zakatul, what's it called?
Fitr.
Can that be given like cooked food or no?
I'm coming to this. Because now I want to talk about the differences between Zakatul Fitr and Kafaratul Yamin. Sorry, Al-Kafara in general.
Can you ask the family like what they want for food?
We'll come to this. Let me answer that first. What is the difference? مين مع جليل؟ عبدو أبو جليل بدك تاخذ الشيخ؟ على راسي بس لا تتصلوا فيه من الساعة 2 بالليل. Anyway, what is the difference between kafara and zakatul? Zakatul fitr, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam decided. He said, "Sa." A sa, it is kail, like it is container, and inside, what the current scholars calculated, approximately 6 pounds. Could be 6 pounds exactly, or close to 6 pounds. It is kail. What do we call it? Kail, like a container. So, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Mr. Yasir, he decided 1 sa of date, or barley, or wheat, or corn, or aqid. Al-aqid, a dry yogurt. The Palestinians, they use it for jmeed, بيسموه جميل. They use it for شو اسمه الأكلة؟
Mansa.
Mansa. Oh, you know, mashallah.
That's my
Is your
favorite.
wife Palestinian?
That's my favorite.
Is your wife Palestinian? Oh, mashallah. So this is, but al-kafara not. Al-kafara is not decided. Is not appointed. It's only feeding poor. Feeding. يعني أنس بن مالك رضي الله تعالى عنه, when he became 90 years old or more, he lived more than 100 years, by the way. Because Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made dua for him to live long life, to have lot of children and offspring, and to have lot of money. Exactly what happened. When he died, he had from his family, children, grandchildren, 100 when he died. So the point is, what he used to do, the first day of Ramadan, when he couldn't fast anymore, became too old, and he is rich, right? No, he became rich because he was servant, subhanAllah. He was khadim, maid, or not maid, servant of Rasulullah. No? Then he became very rich man. When Ramadan started, he used to cook for 30 people, invite them, and they ate. And when they eat, done for the whole month. One time. Not every day. He invite, and they eat. That's it. When they eat, that's it. That's what Allah said. At'am, feed people. From here, al-ulama, they distinguish between al-kafara is less, much less than zakat al-fitr. Because zakat al-fitr decided on sa of food. But somebody cannot eat one sa. Can anybody eat 6 pounds of rice? You cannot. Or 6 pounds of date at the same time? 6 pounds of corn? No. One time, no. With 6 pounds, you can cook it and mix it with some other food, and you can invite maybe 10 people to eat 6 pounds of rice. Right? 6 pounds of rice is too much when you cook it. Do you agree with me or not? You cook at your house, and when you cook, maybe you cook only 1 pound, right? Not 6 pounds. 6 pounds is enough for 10 people or more. So this is the difference. You need to know that are not the same. Al-kafara is less and is feeding a poor is not any sa from type of food.
So if a meal today is like $10, $15, and 6 pounds of rice, I mean, I guess it's the same price, no?
If you look at the rice, but when you look at date, 6 pounds of date is not $10, $15, right? And you have the question.
I was gonna ask, what qualifies somebody for Zakatul Fitr? I know you're saying it's only one of the 8 categories, but I guess what makes somebody a miskin relative to not?
Those who deserve zakat al-fitr, the poor who deserve zakat al-fitr, they deserve zakat al-mal. But the difference is zakat al-mal, we give it to 8 categories, right? إنما الصدقات الفقراء والعاملين عليها الفقراء والمساكين والمؤلفة قلوبهم وفي الرقاب والغارمين. There are 8. But Zakat al-Fitr only الفقراء والمساكين, that's it. And الفقراء والمساكين in Zakat al-Mal are the same فقراء والمساكين in Zakat al-Fitr, the same. But only this from the 8 category in Zakat al-Fitr, we give it to these 2 only. And this is one opinion of the scholar. The other opinion, they said you can give zakat al-fitr to all the 8 categories. But let us keep zakat al-fitr for fuqara al-masakin. The question, who is al-faqir and who is what is the definition of faqir and miskin? Also, we have differences between Imam Malik and al-Jumhur. Al-Jumhur, they said al-faqir is more poor than al-miskin. Malik, he said no, al-miskin is more poor than al-faqir. I believe what Al-Jumhur said is more correct, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Kahf, وَأَمَّا السَّفِينَةُ فَكَانَتْ لِمَسَاكِينَ يَعْمَلُونَ فِي الْبَحْرِ. Masakin, and they own ship. They own. Oh, who is al-faqir based on Jumhur? Al-faqir, that the one who doesn't have anything. Al-Miskin, the one who has something but is not enough. And wallahi, I thank Allah, yani day and night, that Allah said masakin with al-fuqara. He didn't say fuqara only. Otherwise, and it's difficult to. I believe here in Charlotte there is no faqir. There are miskin, but no faqir.
Unless you're homeless.
A Muslim homeless, yeah, نحن نحكي عن المسلمين. Maybe. Could be. If there is some Muslim homeless, ممكن فقير. But the majority of these families, they have, but it's not enough. This also you can give your zakat al-mal or zakat al-fitr. And who cannot receive zakat al-mal or zakat al-fitr? The one who has nisab, the one who has to pay zakat. The one who has to pay zakat cannot receive zakat al-mal or zakat al-fitr. Today, let us go to the lowest number because Al-Jumhur they said 85 grams, Abu Hanifa said 90 grams. Can you calculate the 85 grams of gold, how much it costs today?
It's different than 5 months ago.
Yeah, but not today. I was speaking today. 13,000? Really? Yani how much? Can you go Google it? 85 grams. يا أخي 80 grams. Forget what 5. يعني أحسن is good for the poor. 80 grams of gold. How much? The price of it?
14,000. 14,000.
80 or 85 grams?
85.
85. It is 14,000.
14,200.
Ya Allah. Too much. All the time it was 4,000. Ya Allah. And 5,000 last year. So the one, if at the end of the year you have all what you own is less than 14,000, in this case, no zakat mandatory only. What you have, and listen to this, what you have in bank account in America, overseas, some people they have overseas, and what you have in pocket, in your wallet, what you have in your drawer in the house, you have to collect all this, including what you have in your wallet. Maybe some people they have some hundred, not me, maybe some people. You have to include this. If all what you have in all these bank accounts in America, overseas, and cash at your house or in your pocket, I meant in your wallet, and some of us they have 401k, right? Or they have stock market. You have to add all this. If you collect all this and does not reach 14,000, you don't need to pay zakat. Can you receive zakat in this case? If you own at the end of the year 10,000, 13,000, can you receive zakat al-fitr? You can. This is the rule. If you don't need to pay zakat, that you can't receive zakat. This is the reference. This is the margin. إذا ما تدفع يعني تستحق. إذا الشرع لا يلزمك بدفع زكاة إذا تستحق أخذ الزكاة.
But imagine he owes some money on like a mortgage or something, like where he owes money.
Doesn't mean anything because mortgage is like renting. It's not due immediately. It's monthly, exactly like rent.
So the qiyas is just gold or we can also silver.
Now everything is gold. نعم. No, كل واحد لوحده. If you own, listen, الزكاة is mandatory for المال. يعني if somebody died and left a child who was 5 years old with a lot of money, and after 1 year, no zakat because he's a child? No. The guardian has to pay zakat because zakat تجب في المال ليس على الشخص. If you make money, you have to pay. If I said if. No. And you don't need to add your money with your father's money. No, he has his own money. For example, if you own and your mom owns differently, and your sister, do you have a sister older than you? If any, you said if we collect all this money together, no, no, no. You earn this, it's you by yourself, him by yourself, her by yourself. ما بتجمعوا.
If you do like agriculture, you farm, you farm rice, corn, whatever it is. At the end of the year, can you still zakat?
Of course, of course. But in this case, it's not when the year. When you have harvest, okay. And plus, there is corn. Corn is خمسة أوسق. Do you know the barrow? The barrow. If you have 5 of this and more, not less. Not everything that you have to have a specific amount and more.
Still 2.5% on the grain.
No, not 2.5%. No. If
Grain and cattle.
if he water it and pay money to water it and pay effort to water it, it's different than if he planted and he depend on the rain. If he depend on the rain, he has to pay 1/5, not 2.5%. If you paid money, it is 1/10, the half. 1/10 is different. From here, it's like the cat for crops different than the money.
About cattle.
Huh?
Cattle, animals.
Also, you have to pay, but it's different. If you have, for example, sheep and goat, when you have to start to pay the pay, not ages, I'm talking about numbers. Who said 40? Correct. If you have less than 40, no zakat. When you have 40 and more, in this case, you have to pay zakat. If you have cows, when you start to pay zakat? 30. If you have 29, no zakat. If you have camels, 5. Allahu Akbar. And the cow is not smaller than the camel, but this is 30 and this is what? 5. If you have 5 and more, you start to pay zakat. So each category has its different.
Is it stingy to keep 29,000 purpose?
Purposely? Not only stingy, it's haram. It's haram. If he think a little bit, he's not smart. Because when they are 30, before the howl comes, you give it to Ibrahim as a gift. But also when you 30, you have to pay less than cow. You better pay something else. See? You want to run away from the zakat and you pay more.
Paying the cat is more blessing.
Plus is not good heart with Allah, not good intention with Allah.
Maybe Zakatul Fitr. You say that we pay $15, but when we are sending to Somalia, over there they only count $6 per person. The price is very cheap. So
Yeah, brother. People ask me this question. I'm from Somalia. I'm from Lebanon. I'm from Egypt. I'm from whatever. And I want to send my zakat al-fitr to back home. Based on what scale you have calculated, based on where you are living.
You are living here.
You are living here, you have calculated here. Here, how many people in your family?
I pay even my brothers, like 50.
50 times 15.
No, here, how many?
Now here.
7.
7, please, 7 times 15. Yalla, quickly. Your calculator, yalla. Huh? 100. Suppose 100. Huh?
105.
Suppose 100. You can't pay 100, by the way. Nothing wrong. You have to send 100. In Somalia, if you calculate it to dollar, maybe less than $1, right?
It's kind of like $6
Per person?
kilo of rice.
Not 6 kilos, 6 pounds, I said.
No, in Somalia they pay 3 kilos, which means
It is the same.
yeah,
See, the same.
$6.
For
basmati rice.
Listen. In Somalia,
Yeah.
3 kilos of rice
Yeah.
equals $6. It's expensive. It's expensive to Ghana.
They pay that.
Too much. 3 kilos. You pay $6. Too much.
Inflation.
Huh?
Basmati rice is expensive.
You don't plant rice back home?
Oh, yeah. Well, we do. Some places, yeah.
Anyway, regardless, the whole point is you calculate it in the city or the country that where you are living. No. Yes.
If someone owes you money, do you pay zakat on the money?
Yes. You have to pay zakat as long as the person is going to pay you on time. For example, you lend them for 1 year. They have to pay zakat.
And if they never return?
Huh?
If they never return the money?
If never, next year don't pay. And the ulama, they named it الدين المقدور عليه وغير المقدور عليه. And subhanAllah, unfortunately, that exists between Muslims. They get loan from you and never pay it. That's ظاهرة, and that's known. Unfortunately, that's very rare. It depends. You give it to him for one, he's going to pay it back. 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, regardless. You have to pay zakat after 1 whole year. But next year, if you did not pay it, wait, stop, don't pay zakat until he give it back to you. If he give it back to you after 5 years, pay it one time.
For example, I have some land. I'm planning to sell it after 5 months. But
5 months or 5 years?
5 months, for example, 5 months. So can I pay zakat on that land today's value? Because of this is Ramadan. Anyway, I'm going to sell after 5 months. Can I calculate today's value and pay the zakat?
No need, because you're not sure that you are going to sell it in 5 months. Maybe you like it to stay, or maybe you couldn't. Whenever you sell, by the way, if it is land for business only, if your intention, you bought it for business. If not for business, then you sell it, no zakat.
Unless you hold that money for a year.
Money or the land?
The money from the sale.
خلاص هذا صار money. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا واسرافنا في امرنا ثم اخطانا وصلنا وقوم الكافرين وقبل منا صيامنا وقيامنا وركوعنا وسجودنا وسائر اعمالنا. لا تدع لنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا الا غفرته ولا هما الا فرجته ولا مبتلا عبيدا ولا مريضا الا شفيته ولا ضالا الا هديته ولا مسلما ميتا الا رحمته برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين. احفظنا وحفظ ابنائنا وبناتنا ونسائنا وجميع المسلمين. سلمنا في هذه البلاد جميع سوء العباد انك على كل شيء قدير. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمه الله. When March comes, the 8th, March 8th, after Taraweeh, no guys, except Friday and Saturday, because now if we finish at 9:30, it's gonna be 10:30 now. Salam alaikum.